is conservative.
If you're looking for something liberal
and realistic, this is the place to be.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of our podcast. My name is Kudakwasha Cholokfa, and I'm joined with Natasha and Ronald. So we are in the previous episode, we talked about what are drugs, the causes, prevention of drugs, as well as the effects of drugs on our bodies. So now we are going to be talking about the actual drugs. So we are going into the deep end. So, Ron, we are talking about drugs.
I think I liked when we expressed or we spoke about weed, right? I still have a question on the fact that it's actually a plant, right? That was made by God, and it's there, and it grows in the wild, all right? Is there any other use for that plant other than what it was discovered for? That's why would God put a plant like that on earth? Maybe that's a deep question, but is there any other use that can be used for?
Okay. Yeah, for marijuana, it can be used for medicinal purposes. For medicine. Okay. So now, like now, the government of Zimbabwe is issuing out licenses for people who grow marijuana.
Okay.
For medicine.
Medical purposes.
For medical purposes. So it's not to be for the other use.
No, but so where is the problem now? Where exactly is the problem?
The problem is the overuse of the substance. That's where the problem is.
Okay, so if in my home, if I just take a bit here, there,
for a reason.
For a reason.
Yeah. Why are you taking it? Yeah.
It's just like how people are advised wine by doctors. For some, I don't know if I don't want to misquote, but there are people who are actually prescribed wine, right, for some problems that they have.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe you could help us think.
I don't even have an idea why the Lord had to put such a plant on earth. Maybe it was supposed to be just left there. Yeah, not use it because people, they only sell tobacco so that they make money, so that people use tobacco for drugs or maybe for mbanje, you know. Yeah, that's the only.
On the tobacco part, do you know, like, majority of tobacco that's produced, it's not for smoking.
Okay.
For other uses like medicines and tar.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so we can agree that maybe the purpose of weed on this earth is for medicinal purposes.
Yes.
That's where the abuse aspect comes in.
And now it now depends with the quantities of what you take. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay.
All right. So Ron, you know about drugs. So can you tell us about Mutoriro?
Okay. So I've actually seen someone who's smoked that Mutoriro. So what Mutoriro is crystal meth, right? They're like these small cubes. They actually look like salt. Okay. But they're crushed into finer stuff. And you know those light bulbs that are, it's like a tube and it goes round and round? They take that and they make like a J. They break off the wrist. Where there is a J, that's the part where they insert it inside, and then they've got a lighter and they light it. So it's like a scent. The scent is what then they smoke.
The scent that comes out.
Yes, the scent that from burning the crystal meth. But you know the funny thing, if there's someone smoking crystal meth in this room, you can't smell it.
You can't smell it.
You can't tell.
So how can you tell that this person is under the influence of crystal meth?
I think it's now more of how they behave. Someone is just talking and all that they're saying doesn't make sense. Some of them really, really have excessive features that show that this person is not well. Okay. Maybe the eye is going back in, or their nose is a bit, they have sores in their mouth, maybe they've got cracked lips, But I mean, you need to actually know.
Okay.
But if they're seated in the corner,
You can't tell.
you can't tell.
Oh yeah.
That's how bad it is now.
Yeah. I've had a lady. She took that crystal meth thing. She didn't sleep at all.
Okay.
Yeah. So after you take it, you can go for more than 24 hours without
Wow.
sleeping.
Yeah.
So after it's out of your body, that's when they need to eat a lot, and then they sleep like they're dead after. So they continue the process over and over again. They don't need to take like a lot of it, just a little. You take them 2 days, Yeah.
Interesting.
That's deep.
Oh yeah. So there's one other aspect that many people are talking about when it comes to drugs. There's the issue of sanitary pads and diapers. That one is quite interesting. I think Natasha have got some information pertaining to that.
Yeah, so for sanitary pads and diapers, I actually have witnesses. I once worked at Ministry of Health during my attachment. That was in 2019. And we went for a drug awareness campaign.
Okay.
Whereby you have to interact with those youths and you have an idea of why they are taking these drugs. So one guy came to me and he was like, we use those sanitary pads and diapers because of the juice of the Pampers. They want the juice.
Are these used or from the shop?
Moto Ema Pampers. They can use the ones which are not used or the ones which have been discarded. And they actually say the ones which are used, they're actually cheaper, and because you can find them anyway. So you don't have to use
So you
money.
can't buy, no capital.
Because because for instance, we are dealing with those youths who are not working. They don't even have the resources to buy anything. So they end up using those used pads or used diapers. So they boil those diapers or pads until they form a greyish substance, and then they drink the substance.
Oh, they drink?
Yes, they drink the juice. That's why they're saying juice of Pampers or Moto, Wema Pampers.
Oh. Wait, is this only happening with the Pampers or with the sanitary pads?
Both. And
sanitary pad?
Yeah, and it was like, we have a vendor who supplies them with the used or the ones which are not used, because we can't be seen at the shopping centers buying diapers or pads because it will raise eyebrows.
No, but isn't that unhealthy though? Don't you get sick from the actual?
Whoa.
If you are a drug addict, anything is possible, because you are now craving for anything which can give you satisfaction for drugs.
Okay. I used to think that maybe the unemployed youths or the people who don't have anything to do are the ones who are only taking drugs. But also, people who are coming from well-off homes and even who are actually financially stable, they're actually taking drugs. So what is the cause of that? What are they trying to escape from?
Pardon?
So I think...
Did you get my question?
Yeah, I got your question.
Yeah.
I've known a few people who had everything in their homes, but parents are busy with their jobs, right? Mom is working for international companies, she's in and out of flights, and most of these come from children feeling a sense of they need their parents. Yeah, well, money cannot replace the mother or the father's the attention that comes from them. And one of someone I actually worked with, we were the same age, they killed themselves, right? They were on a salary from their parents, they had a car from the parents, and he was coming to work like all of us. But at that time, I think I was 23, right, or 24, and I didn't even have enough money to buy myself a car. But he had everything. But he hung himself on a Sunday morning, and he wrote an email to his parents saying, look, I've failed, I've done this. So in as much as we may say it's a poverty issue, there are people who are also struggling with feeling like they're doing enough in this world. That is another source
if
Of
they don't have anyone to encourage them and to give them the support they need.
Okay.
Because if your parents are always busy and they don't have time for you, you end up having those depression symptoms and you feel lonely.
okay.
Yeah, and then the only way you can solve all that is by indulging in drugs.
Okay, so we are saying that it starts as an escape route from depression, then it gets to addiction. Okay. All right, so Ron, what do
Yeah.
you have to say about the other drugs that we don't know about? I hear there's in SA, they do injectable drugs. Like you take the blood samples
Yeah.
of one person who's intoxicated by a drug, and then they inject everyone, so that that blood gets to every person.
No, but that then I think that is the source of other diseases like HIV and AIDS. Because I mean, if you're using the same needle to prick on yourself and prick on the other person, yeah, whatever I have in my body is going to come into you, and it's going to come into you as well. Yeah, I think maybe we may also want to talk about other ways of gaining self-esteem, other ways of looking for
An escape route
an escape route
for
to
depression.
depression and problems. Maybe you could give us some of those.
Basically, I think as children or as teenagers or as adults, you should have a self-care.
Okay.
Yeah, whereby for teenagers, you shouldn't depend on anyone. You shouldn't look down upon yourself. Just have the self-care whereby, for me personally, my self-care is whereby I take myself out, maybe I go for a movie, I buy myself nice things, you know.
These things they do require money. So what are you saying to a person who doesn't?
It
Who
for
doesn't
those who have,
Okay, for those who
yeah, it boosts your confidence. You now have a higher self-esteem whereby you don't look down upon yourself. You have to look beautiful. You have to do things which make you happy. And for those without money, you should socialize with people. Maybe,
Okay.
yeah, don't be lonely. Don't isolate
isolation.
yourselves.
Okay.
Yeah, you should talk to everyone. Be open. Go for those activities, church activities. Associate with anyone.
Yeah, church is for free,
Yeah.
by the way.
Yeah.
Especially youths, they don't want to be involved in those activities in church because they believe these things are for adults, for grown-ups, for the elders.
Okay.
So if you go for those social Sundays, you go for those Bible studies, you know, obviously you end up talking to people. You won't feel lonely. Therefore, you won't have to go and associate with those friends who take drugs at home there, and then you avoid drugs.
I like what she's saying, because we tend to look at church as a burden, or as a place that we just go from 9 to 5 in the evening. And just to digress a bit, I was reading a book that mentioned how Oprah Winfrey perfected her art in speaking by speaking verses in front of people and preaching in front of people by the age of 3. So I guess it's a good thing that those are there are ways of, it's an escape route to actually be in the church choir.
So you're saying you should keep yourself occupied.
For me personally, I know on Tuesdays after work I go for choir practice. I sing in devoted, right?
Okay.
And then on Thursdays we go again from 5, and then Sundays from 12 to 3. So I'm occupied most of the times. On Saturdays it's church the whole day, and then if I'm not studying or if I'm not working, I watch movies, or maybe I talk with my friends, you know. I chat with people. So you should be occupied with things.
Okay, so because of our time, we are running out of time. Ronald, can you give us a round of what we talked about today, the effects of drugs and all?
No, I'm quite happy that we came up with conclusions, with remedies to solve these problems. I think you mentioned a couple of places where people like Msasa for men, where people can go and seek help when
Professionals.
yeah, and also I'm also happy that we promoted church, that those activities can actually be an escape route. Yeah.
And then Natasha.
Yeah, so to add on, it's in schools there are no psychologists, you know. They have senior women or the boarding masters who counsel children. So I think there should be methods whereby we have those professionals counseling children, and also awareness campaigns. These things can be done whereby we have awareness campaigns even in our church. We can have awareness campaigns for youth whereby we teach them on drugs. We tell them on the things they can do, activities they can do, so that they don't get involved in drugs. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so that was it from me, Kudakwashe, and the team. We dived deep into the drug issue and the drugs that people are taking. So thank you so much.